Right now, at this moment, people in the UK owe over £235 billion in consumer credit. That's credit cards, personal loans, overdrafts, not mortgages, just the additional debt on top of that. The average UK household carries around £66,892 in total debt. Credit card debt specifically costs the average holder around £468 a year just in interest, at the average rate of nearly 25%. Think about that. Nearly a quarter of every pound of credit card debt is generating more debt every year you carry it. It's one of the most expensive things most people quietly put up with. But here's the thing. You can get out of debt. Completely. On any income. With the right method and the right plan, debt freedom is not a pipe dream, it's a matter of strategy and time. This video gives you that strategy. Let's go. Before you can attack debt, you need to see it clearly. All of it. Every single debt, listed out in one place. For each debt, write down 3 things: the outstanding balance, the interest rate, the April, and the minimum monthly payment. Most people know roughly how much they owe. Very few people know the interest rate on each debt. That's the critical information, because high-interest debt is destroying your finances much faster than low-interest debt. Common UK debt interest rates to be aware of: credit cards typically charge around 20 to 30% April in 2026. Authorized overdrafts are often around 39 to 40%. Buy now pay later schemes can vary wildly, some are 0% for an introductory period, then jump to high rates. Personal loans are generally lower, often 8 to 15% depending on your credit score. Once you have your full list, you have your starting point. Now we can build a plan. There are 2 well-established, proven debt payoff strategies. They're called the Debt Snowball and the Debt Avalanche. Both work. They just work differently, and the best one for you depends on your personality. Here's what they have in common. On both methods, you pay the minimum payment on every debt every month. Then, any extra money you have, any amount above the minimums, gets focused entirely on one debt at a time. The difference is which debt you target first. The Debt Snowball method, popularized by financial educator Dave Ramsey, says, target your smallest balance first, regardless of interest rate. Here's the logic. When you pay off a small debt completely, even a £200 credit card balance, you get a psychological win. You've eliminated a debt. One fewer thing to worry about. That sense of progress motivates you to keep going. Then, the minimum payment you are making on that cleared debt gets added to your next smallest debt. Your monthly debt payment snowballs, it grows as each debt falls, creating momentum. Example. Say you have 4 debts: catalogue debt, £300 balance, credit card A, £1,200, personal loan, £3,500, credit card B, £6,000. With the snowball method, you'd hammer the £300 catalogue debt first. Probably clear it in a month or 2. Then that payment goes onto credit card A. Then onto the personal loan. Then all of it onto the big credit card balance. The emotional benefit of seeing debts disappear is very real. Research shows that people who use the snowball method are more likely to stick with their debt payoff plan and see it through to completion. The Debt Avalanche method says, target the highest interest rate debt first, regardless of balance size. This is the mathematically optimal approach. You pay less total interest over the life of your debts because you're eliminating the most expensive debt fastest. Using the same for debts, with the Avalanche method, you'd first check which has the highest April. If credit card B at £6,000 has an April of 29% while the catalogue debt at £300 only has 15%, you'd focus all extra payments on credit card B first, even though it's a much bigger balance that will take longer to clear. The downside? It can feel slow. You might spend 6 months making extra payments on a large debt and barely feel like you've made progress, even though mathematically, you're saving the most money. For the mathematically minded and the disciplined, the avalanche is the most efficient route. For those who need visible wins to stay motivated, which is most of us, the snowball often produces better real-world results. Here's my honest take. Choose the method that you will actually stick to. If you have a couple of small debts and a large one, consider a hybrid. Clear the small debts first for the psychological momentum, then throw everything at the large high-interest debt. You get the emotional wins without sacrificing too much on interest costs. Either way, the critical discipline is this: once you clear a debt, do not, under any circumstances, use that freed-up payment capacity to inflate your spending. Roll it entirely onto the next debt. Every time. There are a few tools that can genuinely speed up your debt payoff. Balance transfer credit cards. If you have credit card debt at a high interest rate, many UK providers offer 0% balance transfer deals for periods of 12 to 30 months. You transfer your existing balance onto the new card and pay zero interest during the promotional period, meaning every penny of your payment goes to reducing the actual debt. Important caveats: there's usually a balance transfer fee of 1 to 3% of the amount transferred. And you must not miss payments; missing even one can cancel the 0% deal. And ideally, have a plan to clear the balance before the 0% period ends, because the rate usually reverts to a high April after that. Debt consolidation loans. This means taking out one loan to pay off multiple debts, ideally at a lower interest rate than your current average. This can simplify your payments and reduce your interest costs. Nationwide, Barclays, and other major UK lenders offer personal loans. Compare rates on sites like Money Supermarket or Compare the Market. One warning: consolidation only helps if you stop adding to the debts you've cleared. If you consolidate your credit cards and then run them back up, you've made the situation worse. If your debt feels truly overwhelming, if you're struggling to make minimum payments, if you're being contacted by debt collectors, or if you're just not sure where to start, please reach out for help. The two best free resources in the UK are Step Change Debt Charity and Citizens Advice. Both offer completely free, non-judgmental, expert debt advice. Step Change can help you set up a debt management plan, a formal arrangement where you make one affordable monthly payment and they distribute it to your creditors. No fees. Seeking help is not failure. It is the smart and responsible thing to do. Thousands of people every year find a path through debt with the support of these services. Debt freedom is possible. On any income. In any situation. With the right plan, the right tools, and the discipline to stick to it. List your debts. Choose your method. Find any extra money. Pay consistently. Use balance transfers where they make sense. And don't stop until every single debt is gone. The day you make that last payment, it feels incredible. And it's available to you. Hit the like button if this was helpful, subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and drop a comment below. What's your biggest financial challenge right now? I read all of them and I'll do my best to make content that addresses it. See you next time.